Hey,
Hi,
Hey, how
how
you
are you?
doing,
Good
guys?
to see you.
good, thank
Good.
you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, perfectly. Likewise.
Yes,
Awesome,
amazing.
awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming on.
What time
Thank
is
you for
it
having
there
me.
for you?
It's 10 a.m. here.
Okay. Have you had a good morning?
Oh yeah, I'm drinking my coffee, Freddo espresso. I don't know if you guys, by the way, have Freddo espresso in America. I think not.
We're from Australia.
Oh,
Close.
oh my God, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I think also you don't have in Australia. Only if you go to any Greek cafeteria or something, maybe you're gonna find it. So it's like a Greek coffee, basically, super strong. So yeah, gotta start my day like this. What about you guys?
Well, I'll have to try that.
Yeah,
I've never had
yeah,
that
I've never
before. We love coffee, so we'll have to
have
try.
to go for the hunt down, see if we can find it somewhere here. Surely, but if somewhere in Australia has it, it'll be Melbourne. So I'm sure we can try and find it. But our day's been okay. Very long. We've been up since 2 a.m. because we had work this morning. So
Oh,
yeah.
oh wow.
And then
In which city are you guys?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Okay.
Yeah. So we were working at a bakery, so started really early, but we're glad to be finished. Unfortunately, we got to start at 3 a.m. tomorrow as well, so that sucks, but what can you do? Looking forward to the weekend. 2 more days, so we're almost there.
Yay.
Very exciting.
So we'll jump straight in. So can you take us on a little journey through your life? What shaped you and what led you to the version of you sitting here with us today?
Well, it's a long journey, to be honest. I'm 25 years old, but sometimes it feels like I had lived like 20 lives and I'm 60 years old with the experiences that I had. So it all started when I dropped out of uni when I was 18 years old. Um, it was just insane for me to finish school and then go to study, and I just didn't know who I am yet, and like committing to a 4-year study for me was insane. So I started researching like how to leave your country with no money, and I found this like notification, or more like a post that says if you're a European citizen, there is like a European voluntary service that you can do. You need to send your CV and a cover letter, and then we're gonna see if we're gonna accept you. So I was like, okay, might as well do that. I got accepted in a voluntary service in Portugal, in Montemor. I was teaching yoga and Greek language to kindergarten kids and stuff.
That's cool.
And I was like, you know what? I got accepted. Might as well drop out of uni. I said to my parents that I'm leaving in a week. Everyone was shocked and stuff. I went to Portugal with literally 200 euros in my pocket.
Wow.
And yeah, it was insane. It was till today, I don't know how I did it, but I was more of a like free spirit, kind of hippie, not giving a fuck about money and stuff. I hope this word is not censored. Is it okay for me to
It's okay.
curse?
It's okay.
Okay, good. And so, yeah, I went to Portugal. I was working there. I was the happiest. But then I realized that, yeah, I don't want to live a life of earning. Like, I was earning money, but it was only 250 euros a month for working as, with kids and stuff. So I realized that I need to learn how to make money. This is like the perfect opportunity for me to be in such an uncomfortable environment as much as I was comfortable and loving it there. And yeah, it all started with me searching for making, again, how to make money and stuff. And it was like affiliate marketing. Then I was like, no, I don't have money for a course or stuff like this. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sell clothes. And I'm like, okay, I don't have money to buy clothes and resell them. So what I'm gonna do? I'm like, okay, girl, just go to Lisbon groups because I used to, it was close to Lisbon. I was like, all right, they're giving away free clothes. Might as well get them and sell them. So I was collecting clothes for free in Portugal. But I had a mission that with every sale, I will give a €5 donation to a kid that was struggling with cancer. So I was collecting these clothes. I was like, listen, if you're going to see your clothes on the website, just know that is also for a good cause. And this is how it all started with me going in the whole social media world, started making some content, I had to learn the language because I was the first foreigner to do so in Portugal back then, and yeah, I guess I don't know if I answered the question. I'm like talking like the last 10 minutes.
No, that's like a perfect answer. Like,
wow, that could be a movie.
Yeah.
That could be a movie. You've got such a nice story. Wow.
you go.
That's so cool.
It is really cool. Sorry, you go.
Oh, there is a very big part after that also. This is just like the intro, but like this was the start, like when everything started, when I was like, okay, I was like 19 years old, 18 to 19, gotta make money, what to do. And yeah. But content creation came after many years after that. So I went through positions such as head of sales. I went through positions such as head of PR in big marketing agencies. I was working in the marketing sector. I was even working for the project of TikTok in Portugal again. So it's like I did a lot of things for me to come to a realization that I just want to be a freelancer, make it happen, even if it's hard, better than me, how hard it is to create content and make a living of it. But I believe that it was all worth it, and people that do it, they really have the guts. So yeah.
I like that it kind of almost sounds like was like a full circle moment. You kind of took that risk and that opportunity because I felt the exact same way as you did. I finished school and I went straight to uni, and same thing. I did like a semester, and I was just like, I was just in school. I don't want to keep doing this for another 4 years. And I like kind of took a step back, and I ended up never like going back and finishing it. I wish I moved overseas. That would have been really cool. But I like that when you did that, you took that risk, and then you thought, what can I do with this situation? I've already taken such a huge risk. Let me see what I can make out of this. And then somehow that led you to then working with all these brands and like in sales and stuff, like you said, which then gave you all this experience. And then you kind of then realized again, I guess that freedom that you had, obviously not trying to put words in your mouth, but that I guess excitement and freedom from like moving countries and looking for clothes, and that I guess comes with being a freelancer kind of is where you kind of went, no, I don't want to kind of do this anymore. I want to make a business for myself. I want to be the content creator. I want to be a freelancer. So it just kind of looks like a full circle moment. I think that's really cool. It's like a really nice journey by the sounds of it, with lots of up and downs, I'm sure, but it sounds very fulfilling. So I can see why you said you've like lived like almost, I guess, like 60 years within while being 25.
And that's only the start.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, and this is just the 5% that I said. Like, so many stories, so many experiences in my professional life also, But speaking so many languages also gave me this opportunity for me to try a lot of fields. So I even was a florist. Like, imagine that. I even tried the whole like, like I even worked with kids, like what? I even did Forex. Like, you're gonna think how you managed to do that. Like, you're only 25. And my secret is for you to risk and try. Life, we only have one life. Maybe we're gonna die tomorrow. Like, sincerely, like nobody's here telling us, oh, you're gonna live 100 years. So I always had this mentality that from everything I do, I'm gonna learn the skill and I'm gonna make it perfect. I'm gonna learn it so good, and then I'm gonna just get bored of it because this is how I am, and then I want to learn something else. But the thing with content creation and the social media world in general, and why I still stick to this, is that because it's always changing, the trends are changing, the whole everything is changing. This is why I still stick to this, because it's not boring. It has this beauty in it. Marketing is changing constantly, and I just find it fascinating. And I think I'm gonna do it for as long as I feel comfortable doing it. And yeah, let's see how it's gonna go. But as for now, I'm super happy about it.
Would you say you kind of it sounds like you like, I guess, the evolution or the ever evolving, like you said, it doesn't really ever feel boring. So would you say that you kind of, did you always enjoy, I guess, maybe not change, but maybe the better word is like chasing new experiences? Like, was that something that you also kind of felt when you were younger? Like, do you think if you told the younger you everything that you experienced, that she could kind of believe that?
That's a great question, actually. I was always a kid that I loved to learn. So I always loved to learn. I always loved to get knowledge, educate myself, even if it's not in the traditional way that the system is telling you go to university and stuff, but I still was learning. And I must say that there is always room to grow in anything you want. And when it was this point that I felt like, okay, I've grew enough in this field, I know the things that I wanted to learn, like there's no more growth in here. Like I want to learn something new. And this is what I'm doing. So as long as I'm learning and as long as it's satisfying my educational needs, let's say, I'm going to keep on doing that.
I think that's like one of the best mindsets to have. And I think that's
Yeah.
something that actually really kind of separates certain people from like who succeed and don't. I'm really intrigued to know, where do you think that like mindset has come from? Is that like something that maybe came from your parents, or, maybe an experience that kind of, I guess, put you, because that's something that I think or I know I definitely growing up have kind of struggled with. I've always wanted to do lots of things, experience lots of things, but I've always found the learning part difficult. So it's always kind of held me back a bit, and I guess sometimes kept me in a comfort zone. So, we're really trying to push past that. But by the sounds of it, you've always kind of, I guess, felt that way. So I'm just really intrigued where that kind of came from.
It's gonna sound very cliche, but I always felt like I'm not fitting in, at least when it all comes to the school, right? And how we even were the system of being taught in schools, the traditional ways. Of course, every country has a different system and stuff, but at least in my case, I'm a person that I learn in practice and not theoretically. This is just how I learn. And maybe it all came from the fact that my parents are immigrants themselves. They immigrated 2 times. I was born in Crete. It's a Greek island. I moved to Cyprus, to another island, when I was 2 years old. And I was grown up in this way of, what, like, if you want a better life, you need to risk. If you're not satisfied, you need to risk. So I guess it comes from my parents, because they had to start from zero, literally 2 times in their lives with 2 kids. And I was seeing that growing up, and they made it. For them, they made it. And me seeing this is like, yeah, if you're not comfortable, move away. And trust me, you're going to be uncomfortable also with what you're going to start, but at least you're going to have this growth. We are not trees. This is also some cliche. We are not a tree. We're human beings. We are here to experience this human experience. And I am a believer of God. So as long as you trust his process, his plan, just go and do whatever you want to do, as long as you feel within you that you're doing the right thing. So that's how it all started, I guess.
I love that. It's
Yeah,
like it's been
very
like
inspirational.
it's been 14 minutes, and like my like belief of like trying to push ourselves in that direction, you've like inspired it
I
even
I
more.
oddly feel like that's the message that we needed to hear,
Yeah.
because we've been like,
Oh,
we like moved here from the Gold Coast because we thought that Melbourne would give us more than where we were, and it has, but we really both want to, it's like we want to move overseas, we want to go from country to country, but I guess we're in that stage of like we're a bit stagnant with actually just going, and I feel like that was the message that we needed to hear.
Yeah, it's like you kind of hold that part and explained it so well that it was kind of like that fear of that little nudge that was keeping us in that comfortable state. You kind of just like, expressed it in like a perfect way. And I'm sure anyone listening, I think your words just then will hopefully really resonate with anyone listening. So like, I want you to give yourself a pat on the shoulder. That was really,
guys.
really, really nice. And I
I'm
think,
so happy. I'm so happy about this.
Thank you. I think what's really funny is like this goes perfectly into, I guess, my next question, which is, what is like a lasting impression that you want to leave on people? Like, when you kind of, whether it's through your content, like how do you want people to feel after watching your content, or even, feel after talking to you? I feel like maybe we just kind of answered that question for you, but I'd love to hear, your side.
The impression that I want to leave to people is definitely for them to believe in themselves, to risk, and to enjoy this life, because this life is really beautiful. It's how you make it, how you create it. We have the opportunity, in my opinion, you and me, to do what we love. So might as well do a little bit more, because why not?
Yes, I love it. I think
Yes.
that's so important. I just really feel like this podcast was like meant to happen. It's like it's just so funny. It's like it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's like we've been like literally. I know we just said it, but just on that edge, and it's like you're just reconfirming everything that like we've been feeling and thinking. So it's just really nice to, I guess, hear someone who's been in a completely different situation to us, or even in similar situations at time, and it's like, I guess, confirming that is like it's the way to go. I'll stop with that now. I just really want to say all the time.
So what are 3 of your daily non-negotiables?
Okay, like my routine, what I do
Yeah,
within
just
my
like
day.
your everyday. So it's like no matter what are 3 things that you will do every single day?
Praying, definitely. Every night I pray before I sleep. Even if I fall asleep, I'll wake up, guys. It's crazy to say, I'll wake up to pray. It's like, and it's been since kid, and it's not necessary for it to be like the religious praying. It's just, like I said, I believe to God. I'm not a religious person, but I do believe in Him. So praying for sure, stretching for sure. And I also jump when that's so weird. But
It's kind
when
of
I wake up,
stretching.
it's so insane for me to say that, because like not a lot of people know about it. But when I wake up, I'm stretching a little bit, and then I jump for 3 minutes, like legit. Like you can do jumping jacks, but I'm just jumping. So this wakes me up so much. And the third thing, if we exclude the necessary stuff of like eating, showering, blah, 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 it will definitely, and the work ethic, of course, working, it will be coffee.
Yeah.
I like coffee.
We're big fans of coffee too. It really, I think if you become a coffee lover, or like you start drinking coffee, I think it's like
There's no
inevitable.
going back.
It's like going to become a part of
Yes.
like a non-negotiable.
Yes, guys. And I used to drink like 3 to 4 coffees a day. And I was like, okay, girl, like this is an addiction. We need to work on it. Limit it, girl. Because I'm either all or nothing, Either I can like do water fasting and not eat for 3 days, or I can eat so much. And now I'm practicing the balance and the middle, like don't drink 4 coffees, drink one.
Yeah.
So kind of practicing this now.
How have you been going with that? Have you found like, I guess if you are aiming to have one a day, do you like plan out when that coffee will be? Like, is it always going to be in the morning, or will you sometimes wait till like the middle of the day, or does it depend on, I guess, what you're doing?
It's about my inner feeling. So I will feel like drinking coffee at 2 p.m. I'm gonna drink it at 2 p.m. But there's times I'm gonna feel like drinking it at 9 p.m. Or no, sorry, 9 a.m. I'm sorry, 9 p.m. is insane to drink it. Then I'm not gonna be sleeping. But yeah, the life that I do is basically going with a flow, but not within when it comes to work. So I'm like, okay, I have 4 to 5 hours to work, and the rest of the day I can do whatever time I want. So I don't limit myself. I'm not like, no, at 8:15 do this, at 9:15 do this. And like, I don't like this. So with these small things, I just go with my feeling mostly.
I think that's important. I think that's really, really important to kind of be. It sounds like you're really in tune with yourself, and
Yeah.
I love that. And I hope a lot of people kind of
Yeah.
take that away from you as well, listening to this. That like, I think that's just one of the most important things. Learn to be in tune with yourself.
Yeah. And I'm just curious because I know you can speak quite a few different languages. How do you like balance that? Because I know a lot of people say that if you don't use it, you lose it. Do you have ways of how you keep them all like in your memory?
Yeah, sure. I speak on a daily basis 4 languages. So, like, I speak Russian at home and Greek, and Russian also with like at work also because like I have clients and stuff. Portuguese with my friends and also because of work, and English because of work and because of friends. So, yeah, I just use it on a daily basis, basically.
Wow.
On a
Do you
daily basis.
That's very impressive. Do you ever like get, I guess, get mixed up, or like do you ever like accidentally start, if you like maybe speaking Russian and then accidentally start speaking English, or I guess maybe a better way to word it is, which I've always actually been curious about, is what language do you think in?
Thinking.
Yeah.
You're gonna say that.
Do you rotate depending on, like
Mm.
right now you're talking to us and we're English, so are you thinking in English or are you thinking in a different language?
That's a great question. Because when I was born, since I'm born, I speak 2 languages, is Russian and Greek. So when I speak with my parents, is within one sentence is 2 languages, is Russian and Greek. When I'm thinking, it depends on how I feel and with who I'm talking. So talking with you in English, I will think in English. But when I speak to another person in Russian, I'm gonna think in Russian. But my main thoughts and the language that they stem from, I guess, is Russian
Mm-hmm.
and Greek.
Mm-hmm.
I've never thought of it actually, Like now you got me thinking, like really, which language I'm thinking? I don't know.
I've always just found it interesting because like I knew someone at school growing up and they could speak 2 languages, but I think they would always talk about it and they would say that they didn't learn 2 languages when they grew up. They kind of like were learning the language as they were going through school, like on the side outside of it. And I think they had to start thinking in that language to help them memorize it.
Yeah.
But I guess in the day-to-day, once they kind of felt confident in it, they just went back to, I guess, English. So I'm always intrigued when, like, I guess someone is raised 2 different languages by both parents. Yeah, how does that kind of work? So it's really interesting.
Yeah, it depends, to be honest. I guess in my case, it depends on the person that I'm speaking to and the environment that I am.
That makes sense. Kind of now take it back to content. What's something you used to cringe at in your early content days, but now you kind of feel like it's maybe a necessity, or you kind of go, you know what, I can't even believe I thought that was cringy. I love like doing that within my content or having that a part of my content, whether it's, something you do while filming, or maybe it's a style of editing, whatever that may be.
Definitely to show my face, to show up. as crazy as it sounds, I will be super comfortable to speak in my personal Instagram account because it's all of my friends, from all around the world. I'll be so chill. But when it came to my, like, let's say the professional account or more like of filming content for my clients, it was like, nah, why do I do that? Like it just feels weird. But now I'm okay with that. And I actually like it. So it was more of that. I had to learn how to be in the light because I was so used to being in the shadow, incognito mode, always incognito. And then I'm like, listen, like, you just gotta be out there. So I've accepted it and now I like it.
Yeah, I think you get used to it. Once you've kind of put yourself out there, you like adapt, and then you can't really imagine it any other way.
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
True.
You got like two people that I guess maybe like performing or maybe are a bit more extroverted, so they kind of naturally are just happy to be on camera. And then you have the people that kind of are a bit nervous to begin with, or maybe a bit more introverted, and they kind of do all the faceless things when they're doing the business side, and then they kind of go, oh no, we need to be in camera now, and they slowly build that progression up. Because I know we kind of did something similar.
Yeah, and I think it can feel funny at first, like especially if you're in a room by yourself and you're having to talk into a camera, you kind of feel a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But then when you kind of go, this is like how I'm being creative, or this is for work, I think that changes it.
Yeah, especially like in public. I think that's really funny. Like we want to start doing YouTube, so we've been like taking a camera out, and like it's really funny. I don't know, to me, I guess because like you hold your phone or you may FaceTime. So to me, I'm like what's the word? Disassociated to like talking in a public on a phone, but holding a camera and talking, that's really weird. It feels so strange.
Yeah, it's true. But kind of like nowadays everyone is doing it. So I think it's even less of an awkwardness as it used to be some years ago, right? Like nowadays it's more okay. But like if I would have been doing that like 6 to 7 years ago, I think I would feel even more uncomfortable to do so.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I just wanted to quickly, I just remembered I didn't get to ask before. When you're saying about the clothes thing, and I'm completely off topic, but how long did you do that for?
I did it for a couple of months and then I stopped doing it because I saw that the effort that I put into that was not resonating with the money that I was earning. So let's say the whole hustle for me to package it, to prepare it, to speak with the people on social media and find the clothes, take the clothes, wash the clothes, iron the clothes. I was like, listen, it's a lot of time you're spending because I like the mathematical side of it. So let's say on each clothing you spend around like 10 hours from the beginning till the end, the preparation and stuff. And you're earning like what? $10, $20. So I said, shouldn't be like that. I did it for a couple of months though. I earned the money that I needed. And with the money that I earned, I invested in a social media course. So that was the whole point for me to like get the money and level up basically.
Yeah, like an investment. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I remember it would have been like at the end of high school. I like downloaded Depop and was trying to like sell clothes and op shop and sell clothes. And I like thought in my head that I'd be like, oh, I'll make money from this. This will be really good. You kind of don't like end up making much money at all because like you don't want to be selling like absolutely like ripping people off for their clothes. But then by the time you, especially like because I was like shipping them off, so I'd have to like I'd get one sale and then I'd go to the post office and then I'd ship it and then that would cost like $12.
And Default would take a percentage anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think it's like a cool little project. I think if you have other things going on, because then you can like store the clothes and then you can just wait for sales. And but when it's your main thing, I can imagine how like hard it can be, and it's not as the reward of investment is low.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I read a book. It's called Girl Boss. I don't know if you know it. There used to be also a series about it. It's called Girl Boss. It's based on a true story. Her name is, I guess, Sophia Amaro, if I'm not wrong. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong. But long story short, she started like that. She started by selling second-hand clothes. Slowly, 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 she like grew her empire, and then she made a multimillionaire like dollar business. I forgot the name of her brand. Again, I'm so sorry. I apologize about that. But this story also inspired me to do my own thing. But as you understand, that was something she really wanted. She was really into clothes. And this is when I say that I believe that if you really like something, if you really believe in it, you're gonna make it. So
Mhm.
I didn't make it because I'm not a fashionista. I'm not a girl that is crazy about the whole clothing and fashion industry. This is why I didn't make it. Maybe also you know, but if it will be something that we really wanted, also it has to do with luck, right? Maybe we like could have made it, you know. It's about how much you want it, and there is money in the fashion industry, but for sure it's all about the brand. What is
Mhm.
your brand? What is the story behind your brand? How you gonna market it, right? And at just that time, for me, it was more like, let's just make a side hustle because of the extra money,
Mhm.
not because like I believe in this idea, like to make it happen and become a millionaire, let's say.
Mhm.
Yeah, passion is so important. It really is what makes and breaks you, really. Because like at the end of the day, no matter where you are in within a business or a brand, it's always going to be difficult. And what keeps you going
Mhm.
is the passion. So if it's lacking, you're not going to really, I guess, eventually give up.
Exactly. I agree with that. Definitely.
So, if you could have any animal as your pet, but it's the size of a cat, what would you pick?
It's a panther. Of course, it's a panther.
He's so cute, a little panther.
I love panthers.
Yeah, it's my spirit animal, to be honest. There is a small story behind it, and I don't know if you're like would like to hear it, but I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say because it's super cool. So since kid, I've been having the panther coming into my dreams so much, guys. Not gonna lie. Like I had a lot of dreams with the panther and stuff. And last, no, a year and a half ago, or almost even 2 years ago, I used to work in a marketing agency. And I started going to the office there, and suddenly I see like a Kinder egg. I don't know, you have them in Australia also, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinder Surprise.
Yeah.
You know that egg? Yeah. Suddenly I see it on my desk. And I'm like, that's not mine, you know, I don't know who put it in here, but I'm not gonna touch it. Because we had so many people in the office, so maybe somebody like forgot and left it there. So 1 day is passing, 2 days, 3, 4, 5, 10 days. I'm like, listen, like, I guess it's mine now. Might as well open it. I open it and I legit find a small panther in there. I even like have it with me.
Oh,
That is so cool. I love that.
And and that's when I was like, yeah, this is my spirit animal. Because I was going through a dark moment at that time. So finding this Kinder Surprise in there, like why to my table and not somebody else's, I was like, yeah, that's my go-to animal. Like one of my dreams is to see in real life a panther, even touch it. I want so much.
It's kind of like I think that's really cool. I really like that story. I'm thankful that you shared that. It's I think what am I trying to say? It's like a panther's kind of like a protector, but it's like I always like think of when I think of panthers, I've always thought of the word like majestic. They're like the majestic
Mhm.
cat out of all the
yeah.
different cats, and it like I think it's got really what's the right word? Like strong protective energy while also being like in some way feminine,
That's what
but
I was just
also
saying.
like fierce.
Yeah.
So I just think it's really cool that you know, that story of the Kinder surprise and the fact that you still have that,
Yeah.
and just that whole, and
Yeah.
with your vibe and your energy, like it just feels really like it resonates. Like that makes sense that the panther is like, yeah, your spirit animal.
I love stories like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think that actually, fun fact also, a few weeks ago, a friend of mine, she's into psychology. She's like super random sometimes. She's like, yo, listen, tell me three animals and one thing you like about them right now. And I'm like, oh, okay. Panther because it's mysterious, I said. Dolphin because of its intuition, it's intuitive. And a jaguar because of speed and because it's fast. But you know, like a panther and the jaguar are the same kind of like an
Mhm.
animal. And she's like, okay, that's very cool. And I'm like, why you're asking? She's like, the first animal you say and the characteristic about it is who you want to be, who you want to become. So you want to be more mysterious. The second animal you say is how people actually perceive you. So you said intuitive. So people actually see you as a very intuitive person and in tune with your emotions and your everything and stuff. And the third animal you say is actually who you are. So you're like fast, which is true. You know, if I want something, I don't double think it. I'm like doing it now. I want this, I'm gonna do it like fast, fast, fast. You know, that's how I move. And I think it's just a very nice psychological test. It's a pity though that I said now what it means because now you cannot do it to each other.
Yeah.
Well, why you? I really like that. Why you're saying that? I was just kind of like thinking about it to myself, and it's really funny. Like the first animal that I think of, weirdly enough, it probably way back when I was younger, it was probably a panther, and then it was like, I don't know if you count a T-Rex, but the first animal that comes to my head now is a walrus. Funnily enough, it's a walrus. But what's really funny about that is the way that I would describe it. So like the way you said panther and you said mysterious, like I would say a walrus is legendary, and it's only because I got that from like a YouTuber that I watched as a kid. He played a game and he put like a little mod in it, and he put a walrus. He'd have a pet walrus, which you couldn't do in the normal game, and he was Swedish, and he'd always say the word like legendary. So I like, my brain associates legendary with walrus, but I've always wanted to be legendary. So it's just crazy. Like you've just like connected all these things that like I didn't even think of, but it's just, that's like such a cool fact. And
Wow.
yeah,
It's
so random.
What about you?
Mine's snow leopard. I've always, since I was like a kid, I remember my parents were like watching like David Attenborough on the TV, and I'd never seen one before. I don't know how old I was, but I think like when you're little, it's like I didn't know the difference between like a cat and like big cats. And I remember seeing it, and it was like a beautiful, it was like walking in the snow, and I had just never seen an animal like that before. I just think they're so beautiful, and I think they're so cool. I've always loved snow leopards.
Well, that's funny. Would you say, so you'd say that the word is beautiful? That's why you like them?
I also think that like, I think too, like big cats, a lot of big cats are mysterious.
Yeah.
There's something very mysterious
And
about them.
I would say both words, beautiful and mysterious, I guess, would really kind of fulfills kind of like how legendary does for me to like, I guess, describe how you are. That's such a cool thing. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's a really fun
You should
fact.
do it to your closest friends or like your colleagues, you know, like psychoanalyze them a little bit.
It's really fun.
It almost like reminds me of like in astrology how you have your moon, sun, and rising sign.
Yes, girl. That's the
thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you got it.
I
wonder, what's your sun sign, moon sign, and rising now?
So my sun's Aries, my moon is Aquarius, and my rising's Cancer.
Oh, girl, I'm an Aquarius moon also.
Ah, there you go. And you don't know yours, do you?
I'm a Pisces.
You have Aquarius as well.
But I know I have Aquarius because that's what we're matching in.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what my third one is. I always forget it. What about
Funny
you?
enough, but you seem more of a Pisces and you seem more of an Aries, you
That's
know?
funny. That's funny.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, honestly, it's true. Like I remember when I found out you're a Pisces. It's like funny. It's like I think from the outside you seem like more of an Aries, but then when you get to know you, you see how you're a Pisces, and that's like the flip for me.
Yeah, I'd say that too. I can see how, from the outside you look like a Pisces, but you are an Aries. But you know what's really funny about that too is that I wonder if that's
Yeah.
kind of like a
Digging in from psychology to astrology, like real quick.
I just wonder if that's a
That's
reflection
funny.
of the fact that you're an Aries, and then obviously being raised by just my mom and she's an Aries. That like I wonder if that is why from
Mm.
the outside, I guess someone who doesn't know me would maybe come
Yeah.
across that I'm like an
You-
Aries.
yeah.
Maybe.
That's fascinating.
That's a
You-
good fact.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you learned so much from an Aries.
yeah.
How about
But I'm definitely a Pisces. Like if
yeah?
when I read any of the horoscope things and that, like what I think in here, it's spot on.
What are
That's
your
amazing. I am a Capricorn sun, Aquarius moon, and a Sagittarius rising, and people mostly perceive me like a Sagittarius one, which is the son of an adventurous person, spiritual traveler, which who I am actually. But
Mhm.
the Capricorn one, I think the work ethic and like
yeah?
that I'm craving stability so much. And yeah, Aquarius moon, I think you also understand me. Sometimes we don't understand our feelings. We're like
Mhm.
putting everything into the logical mode, which is true. I'm not as emotional as I look, actually. I'm trying to see everything more like logically, you know, like more logical. So I really love astrology, by the way.
Yeah.
I really like it. I believe it's fascinating. It's very cool to read, kind of connected with psychology, even if psychologists will hate me now listening to what I say. But hey, it's cool.
It is cool.
That's okay. I'm studying psychology, so I want to become a psychologist, and I'm pro astrology.
Oh yeah, let's go, girl. That's my girl.
I've
That's
always wondered.
amazing.
It's like the older you get, you start to. I feel like the way you, I guess, grow and mature. Because like I guess if like you're, what's that called? If I'm a Pisces, what's that? What's that? Your rising or your sun?
Your son.
Yeah, like you
Cancer.
because as you grow, your sun. Obviously, you're learning to deal with all the, I guess, the negatives or like the hardships that you face, and then obviously, I guess, like the reflect. Not that you are less of what your sun is, but it's like you start to become more of what your other two are, because that's something that like I've always
Yeah.
kind of thought, and that's why it's funny. Like, yeah, most people would not assume meeting me or interacting with me if they don't know me would not assume that I'm a Pisces.
Yeah, because it can like affect like how you interact with others and how others perceive you. And I think when you're like young, when you're a kid, you're
Yeah,
not thinking about that.
that makes sense.
That's true. That's true.
I love astrology. Do you like what's that other one called?
Birth chart?
Yeah, no. Oh, is it no like Chinese one? The like
Chinese,
Oh, the
Chinese.
Chinese one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
I'm a rabbit. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a rabbit, but a rabbit and a cat, something like that. It's like together.
Yeah, I think I'm a rabbit.
yeah, you might be. I know I'm a sheep, so it's like a ram and a sheep.
Yeah, yours are really similar.
Oh, you are matching. If I'm
Yeah.
not wrong, if somebody from like, yeah, listening to me, correct us, guys. Is a sheep and a rabbit
I'm
matching,
pretty
yes
sure-
or no?
Isn't a ram? Isn't a ram like
I'm pretty sure.
a male sheep or a female sheep?
Let me have a look.
So I always thought that was cool. I remember finding out my Chinese zodiac, and I thought that was so. I only had to remember one.
Can't spell.
Yeah, RAM. Yeah.
Yeah, male sheep are
Yeah.
called rams.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's
That's so cool.
Oh, and I also think that like I think one of the best parts about astrology is that it's not all like positive. It's like your sign, all the different signs also like describe the things that you struggle with as well, which I really like. I
Yeah.
feel like it's always super comforting to like read your horoscope.
Yeah, it's super cool. All of the planets and the degrees and this and that and all. Yeah. But every time some planet is retrograding, so it's making
Oh,
you a little.
oh yeah.
I-
I remember I learned about Mercury retrograde in high school, and
Oh,
I don't know if I was jinxing myself, but I swear
You-
it is real. And every like Mercury retrograde, I can feel it.
she has. I like never heard of that. I had never heard of that. And then when we were together, all of a sudden, like some bad things were happening, and she's like, "Nah, Jake, I think it's Metro retrograde." And I was like, "What?" And then she's like,
Mercury
"Oh,
retrograde.
my bad, my bad, my bad." My bad.
funny. I was
Anyway,
I once said it to a friend of mine, and she's like, "Microwave retrograde. What are you saying?" I'm like, "Girl, what microwave?"
that's so
She's like,
good.
"Which microwave is retrograde?"
At least that wasn't that bad. That's funny. But yeah, you like made me. I reckon you jinx this every time, because then all of a sudden you say it to me, and then more bad things kind of
Yeah,
come up.
and it lasts like 2 months or something.
Yes,
And it's multiple
Yeah.
times a year.
it's terrible, terrible.
But I
terrible.
guess it's how much you like believe in it, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, "I don't believe with this statement," it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But if you're like program yourself, let's say that, "Oh my God, it's happening," then it's gonna be happening. And I think this is how most of the things also work.
Mm.
Like I'm the same, Sometimes like something will break and I'm like, "Let me check the fuck we're retrograding now." I'm like, "Mercury retrograde. That's why."
I knew it.
And then everything breaks. I knew it. Yeah.
It's like what you focus on grows.
Yeah, it's like the power of belief.
Yeah.
As soon as you start believing, that's what you're going to notice in your environment.
That's a fact.
So, what's a hill you'll die on that basically no one asked you to defend? What's something that maybe all your friends disagree with, but you're like so certain on it?
Not all of my friends, but I believe like the faith in God that I have,
Mhm.
like how much I believe into this energy, how much I believe in this. And a lot of people just, not that they don't believe, they don't care as much about it. But like we said, where energy goes and where energy flows, energy goes, right? And this is like the thing that, yeah, I'm like, no, if he exists, God exists, there is something higher than us. And yeah, I will say it's God for sure.
It's like your conviction. I think that's a really good way, like a word. I like that word, like conviction, compared to maybe, like you said, not all your friends, but some of them maybe not feel it as much as you do. And I think like a good way to describe that is conviction.
Yeah, I think I just walk this earth with God. Like this is my main drive and motivation. If somebody asks me where you get your energy from, is God. Is the faith that I have in this. That if something goes bad, I'm like, no, good things are happening because there is something above me that is watching and I am protected. And this is how I always go in life, Just this mentality, basically.
Mhm. And I think also when you feel that way, no matter what you face, no matter what problem, no matter what struggle, you know that it's happening for a reason and you're protected and you're going to be okay.
Yeah, and I think like a
Always.
cool way to put it is like, some people say that God shows himself to them in different ways, and maybe God is showing you himself through the panther. That's like his
Maybe, yeah.
like his that's the way he kind of protects you and speaks to you. Like, yeah, you connect and see him in that way, because like you said, you know that he's always there for you and protecting you, and that's kind of like the panther at the same time. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's just my non-negotiable for sure is faith. Like God speaks through me, God speaks with me, you know, and yeah, that's this.
It's magic. It's beautiful. I think it's really important having something like that to guide you and know that you're always supported.
Always.
And I also think that, like, to like add on, like, what was the question? A hill that I would also die on is that you're like about perception. I think so many people don't realize that what's being reflected back to them is through like their mind, and you can control your perception, and like you can choose like joy and happiness and choose to look for those things and to have it like reflected back to you. I think like a lot of people feel like their life's not in their control, and like what's like the saying where it's like life's like controlling you, you're not controlling your life. And I think that will probably be my hill that I die. And like same with like manifestation and being able to like work with your energy. I'll always die on that hill.
Yeah.
This is a good point, actually. And I believe that if you think like that, then things are just a little bit positive, you know? You're more optimistic. You see life with different lenses. You're more easygoing in terms of like something bad happening to you. You're like, you're going to laugh it off. You're going to be like, okay, like teaching me something, or it was meant to happen. So what I'm going to do, you know? Will it matter in a week, in a month, in a year? It won't. So let's just, you know, just live the life. I think that's the best mindset to live and to make you want to live better, longer, just enjoy life in general.
Yeah, and try to like, something that I always try to do is, even if it's a really, really horrible situation, try to take something out of it that can be positive, or try to take a single lesson out of it.
Even just knowing that it's like, it is temporary, like you said, like, you know, it's not going to last a year, it's not going to last 6 months, it's not going to last, you know, this moment is going to pass, and you know, everything is going to be okay, no matter like whatever the situation may be.
Yeah, life is moving on anyways, so might as well go with the flow of it. Yeah,
why would you want to be angry and sad when you can be happy and positive and feel supported? I think that's like
you can be angry and sad, yeah, but then you can alchemize this.
Yes.
We love that word.
We love that word.
I love this word. I love it also, and I saw it on your bio, and I'm like, yeah, I'm so happy I'm gonna talk with these guys because I think they know what I have in here, you know.
Oh,
Life is all about alchemy.
You'll love it's a little project that we're slowly trying to build towards. We thought we'd do this first, and then because that's the other project's taking a bit longer, but we're very excited for that. And I think by the sounds of it, you'll really like what we have planned with that. So look out for that. I guess
excited.
Little teaser for anyone listening, I guess.
I'm so excited to get to know more about it, because what you already do, guys, for me is like, wow. It's like, yeah, like the progress you've did and this change that you did, I just believe that it suits you more. And talking with you now, not only watching your videos, like I can understand more now, like your vibe and the energy that you're giving off is real. So it's not only because like we are just making content, but it's actually who you are, what you show. And it's just beautiful, guys. And I hope this really will succeed, and people will see like the beauty that you have within you and what you're spreading to the world.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Really means a lot. Really reassuring, and it's really nice. I think that's in some way, actually, I guess another reason why we're kind of doing what we're doing, because it's kind of like especially with the podcast, it's kind of, I feel like at times, and this is why we want to, also connect with so many creators, because at the end of the day, you're only seeing one reflection of someone through the content that they make.
True.
And, that is only a small part of them, because at the end of the day, most people, the social media is still some format of a business. And, we wanted to, that's why to us, it wasn't necessarily about let's have the biggest names on possible. Let's have anyone who's trending. It was, let's have every creator on. So, people like yourself and other people can, it be themselves and show who they are outside of that one reflection of the content that people get to see. So, it's nice to see that you're also kind of, I guess, without even us expressing it like that, is able to kind of see that. So it feels like it helps us know that we're aligned in the right path, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you are, guys.
Thank you.
Really.
So, if you could add one completely unnecessary feature to your home, what would it be?
A statue of a panther.
Yes.
Maybe it will be that, because I really like them. I have a
Like a
small
marble
one. Now we're going to the bigger one.
You know, upgrade.
Yeah, something like, yeah, in my other house, because I would like to move from here. I love this house. I love this apartment, but it's a studio. It's kind of small. I feel I've outgrown from this studio. And if I go to the next one, bigger one, I'm for sure buying a bigger, like a statue, like something big, like, wow. You're coming in the house and you see that panther, you're like, okay, I'm a baddie also, again, and today and every day.
Yeah. Sets the vibe as soon as you walk in. It's like the first thing that you see. Instead of a couch, it's just a massive panther.
Exactly. That's the spirit we bring to the function.
Yes, we love that. We love that. Well, now it makes me intrigued to know for the next question, which is one of my favorite questions to ask, which is, if there was a museum about you and at the end of it there was a little souvenir shop, what would, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5 like souvenirs that people who have come and visited could buy and like remember you for?
Oh, that's a nice question. Definitely it will be like a sticker or like a small mini poster with a motivational quote on there, because this is what I usually give to my friends. I even printed like a few days ago like a motivational quote, and I'm like handing it to my friend. I'm like, listen, you should stick it on your wall, because like lately I see you're like super stressed. Just look at this on a daily basis, girl. Like, you need to calm down your spirits. And I do that, like usually I'm like, I find something cute with like motivational something. I'm like, yo, I think you will like it. So definitely something motivational. Then it will be a book, spiritual book, small one. And then it will be small statues of panthers.
I thought that would be one.
You could do like panther keychains, or like so everyone can
Yeah.
carry one along on their keys. That'd be cool, even on their bags.
Exactly.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, like stickers with panthers and stuff. Yeah, I really like them, guys. It's an obsession at this point.
No, we love that. I think it's cool. I think also it's funny. I'd even say that's a really great way to just even like represent you. Like you are the panther. Like it's cool. I really I like it.
Do you have because you said a spiritual book, do you have any book recommendations?
Yeah, and I believe a lot of people have read it. Definitely, it's The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
My favorite book.
Yeah, right, girl.
That's
I read
literally
it
my
before
favorite book.
my life changed 180 degrees. That's
Yeah.
the book I read before all of the changes happened. So
Yeah.
That's my favorite book. In general, Paulo Coelho is a very, very good writer. So I really suggest his books. The Maktab is also very book. I have a lot of books on here, actually. Another one that I will suggest is The Power by Greene.
Oh yeah,
Also.
yeah. I know the 48 Laws of Power.
48 Laws of Power, yeah. But I will definitely go for The Alchemist.
Mhm.
Like, it's very easy to read. It's a very legit book. It's very motivational with a lot of science. And if you haven't read it, guys, you should read it. Everyone who is gonna be watching
Everyone.
this.
Yeah,
That's
I remember I bought it. I would have been like 16, I think, and I went to a bookstore and I just loved the look of it. I had no idea like what it was about, and I bought it. I just thought it looked so cool. And I remember it actually took me quite a long time to read it because I kept starting it and I was quite confused about, I think I didn't realize at the time that it was such a spiritual book. And I would start it and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is a story about a shepherd. I don't know. I would get like literally like 20 pages in and I was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And then I like dedicated time to reading it. And that literally like that was the moment like my spiritual journey started, was after reading that book. It like
Right?
something to my brain. And I just like remember like where he says the universe is never conspiring against you. And I was just like, wow,
Mhm.
that like completely changed the way I saw life. So I always, it's like, it's the same thing. My number one book recommendation.
and it's almost
Yeah.
becoming a full circle moment, which is really, really cool to see.
Yeah, it's very cool. And he has like the treasure the whole time. It's very cool book.
Very, very, very fitting.
And actually, like, I read it once a year, and every time I read it, it's like I learn something again.
Mhm.
It's so weird to say, but every time I was reading it, I was in a different stage of my life and I was learning something of it. So I can understand why you like this book, really.
I think that's what's so fitting about the book. Like the author did such an amazing job. I think because in some way it's not the stereotypical like self-help book or like you know, I guess that's what
True.
what most of those books, that it's able to be reread so many times. And then yeah, it really does. Like I think no matter it almost answers any questions, no matter where you are, what point in life you are, if you're feeling lost, you know, because you're always changing, life's always changing, your environment, the people that you're around. And then yeah, if you're feeling stuck, it is such a simple read because it is a story that you kind of follow through. It's not like reading a self-help book and then all of a sudden you get that clarity. And it's just, I think, obviously to me, he achieved what he wanted to achieve, was make a book that anyone could read at any point and could read over and find that missing clarity. And I think, as I said, it kind of has ended up becoming a full circle moment for us, and it's kind of a backbone of a direction that we're going in. So it's really exciting. So it's really awesome that you like the book too, and that you'd recommend that.
As soon as someone says that they like that book, I just love that person immediately.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of go into our final three questions, which is now, well, you've kind of been doing it the whole way through anyway, which is just giving so much wisdom. But we'll kind of end on, I guess, wisdom-focused questions. Has there been any advice that you always come back to that has helped you? I know you've probably kind of answered that throughout, but maybe if there's something else that you can think of, or something that you just want to kind of, I guess, leave for the audience to really, that final takeaway.
Yeah, to not be afraid, really, guys. If you're not satisfied with your life, if you feel that you want to change something in your life, you should not be afraid. And like I always say, alchemize any bad feeling you have into something good. It's actually good to have bad feelings. Maybe doesn't sound as cool for me to say that, but even if you're going through a traumatic experience, it's very good
Mhm.
because now you're in the perfect moment for you to transform this energy into something legendary. And usually most successful people and people that achieved something good in their life have went through something very dark, and
Yeah.
that was the source of the power they needed into to come into the light, or to become and do what they finally wanted. So definitely is to not be afraid, even if you're in a bad situation in your life, go with it. You're feeling bad, feel bad, but just try to alchemize this feeling. I'm not going to say how, because each person is different. The way that I'm going to alchemize it is different than you or whoever. And that's what worked for me when I was in a very dark moment, and I was like, I should not be afraid of just taking the leap and doing it. So yeah, that would definitely be it.
I think that's like perfect, because it's so true. All good businesses or all successful people, everything, all the like stuff that we have today, just that, you know, even things we accidentally take for granted, it's come from someone's pain. So you can't transform or build something or, you know, help others without that pain. So it is, like you said, it's understanding what that pain is, or, you know, don't be afraid of it, and learn to transform it, alchemize it, learn to go, what solution can I solve? How can I grow this? How can I help others that maybe, you know, I don't want to experience this anymore. I'm sure other people are, and I want to help people.
Mhm.
And I think
Yeah.
that, you know, such a
Yeah,
hard lesson. I think it's hard for people to kind of, you know, because I think we naturally want to run away. But I think it's important to
yeah,
kind of face it on, like you said, and try not to be afraid anymore.
exactly. And another thing that I will add on this, uh, to really, really, really be careful of not self-victimize yourself. Because a lot of people really like to be stuck in the victim mindset. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I feel sorry for me. Oh. And that's when they are stuck in this loop, never getting out of it.
Mhm.
So no matter what you go through, remember, you shouldn't feel sorry for yourself. Like this is, I hope whoever is listening this to really like put it very well in here. Never feel sorry for you. Never. If you're going through something, it's because you can overcome it. You're not given any task, any obstacle in this life that you cannot overcome it. So your challenge is actually to not stay in this victim mindset, because once you do, that's when you lose. This is just my
Yeah.
opinion on that.
I you've reminded me of something that I listened to, and I can't remember if I had shared this with you. But it really resonated with me. And I think it was, you know, you explained it in a more simple way. And I think it's really, I guess, magical or special. And it was a podcast between Jay Shetty and Big Sean, and he's had his baby with his partner, and he's very into the universe and manifestation. And they were talking about Big Sean believes that, you know, even before you're born, you kind of choose your parents. And he was saying that kind of stems from, because then he was relating it back to Jay, where he was saying to him that, you know, what did you do when you were growing up, even though, you know, it may have been hard? What were the difficult things that you experienced, you know, your relationships with your parents, but what did you kind of always, I guess, do? And he, you know, he was someone that kind of, you know, listened, talked, was able to kind of mediate. He was like the mediator within the family. He kind of always tried to uplift people. And it's that thing of, he was put in difficult situations as a child, but it shaped who he is to then now he is, like, you know, helping people. He, you know, is writing a book. He's, you know, written books, on a podcast, having people on, sharing knowledge, always trying to uplift people. So it's kind of like what you said, no matter what challenge you go through, you're not going through it because you can't handle it. It's because you can, and maybe you're meant to, because it's going to shape you into then being able to help people the way you're meant to help people, or make you who you're meant to be.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really powerful.
It's like the whole thing of your pain is your power, and
Yes.
pain gives you the opportunity to grow, because had you not been under those circumstances, you wouldn't have had to go through how to overcome those things. And it changes you as a person, and you become a new version of yourself, ready to take on the next things that you encounter.
Exactly. I do believe the more challenges you go through, the more blessed you're gonna be. It's all about timing, actually. It's just about the timing.
What's a piece of advice that everyone swears by, but you don't think works for you?
I think it will be to push hard all the time. Oh, you need to push and be. No, sometimes you just need to chill, and then it will fall the way it's supposed to be. Yes, I do believe in consistent work. Yes, I do believe that you need to put in the work, but no, I don't believe in the fact that you need to literally like die for this thing. I mean, maybe some people will not agree with me, but what I see working is that, at least for me, the times that I am very focused in that thing and I'm too much into this whole energy, sometimes things don't work. I have to step out of it, and then they unfold and they work the way they are supposed to work. And this is why I do believe that sometimes you need to listen to your body and just to have a 2-3 days of a break. It's okay, it's fine. A lot of people are like, no, I cannot have breaks. No, I cannot have holidays. No, this is not the way. The more you say no to your body, the more like you will see that universe will either bring sickness to you, either something will not for you, just for you to be like, okay, I need to stop here. So I think it's this, the hustle culture, which I love the hustle culture, but sometimes it can be very toxic in terms of like pushing yourself so hard that you're exhausting your body, your mental health, your everything for the sake of the work ethic. Which then it stops being a proper work ethic, at least for me, Maybe I'm a little bit more feminine in my business, in the industry, and with what I do, and not so much in touch with the masculine energy all the time. But that's what works for me, I guess. That's at least in my case,
I love that. I think that's so important. And I think that like in general, I think that how we see hustle culture online, I don't think that's healthy, especially as a woman. I think that rest is just as important, because in a way, I think rest is still a form of taking action. It's like giving yourself that time. And I think I've found so often that when I purposefully rest, that's when I get ideas. Not when I'm working. It's like your brain's thanking you. And when you're at this, like, because I just don't perform well under constant stress, which a lot of the time it starts to feel like that when it's task. But I do really like the productivity side of it. But
it's the balance.
Yeah, I don't realize how much my brain and then your body catches up. As a creative person, it comes to me in times of rest.
I think it's very true. Like what you said, the hustle culture on social media, it's depicted wrong. It's like misleading. I think we get so trapped, and I'm very, very guilty of this, being too much in my masculine and then getting trapped into the fact that social media is a highlight reel, and the hustle culture that you're seeing on social media is not real because it is a highlight reel. So it's like you then don't realize that, because it's funny, even like listening to other podcasts and, people that are like millionaires, billionaires, they'll always talk about the importance of breaks and rests, and even when they've went so hard and burnt out and things were like going terribly wrong, or they thought everything was really great, they had to take an emergency break, or they completely shifted an environment, stepped back, and then things fell into place again, or things started working even better than before, because it's that perfect balance of, if you want to word it that way, of the feminine energy of needing the rest, and then the masculine energy of being able to kind of go and finding that area to go, this is what works best. And obviously it's always different for every single person, but there's a reason we have a feminine and a masculine, and it's about learning that balance, that inner balance.
And I think as grateful as I am that technology exists, I always think about how we literally were not designed to like have technology, and how like that's the thing. I'll be on a screen and then boom, headache. And it's just funny to think about how like, just hundreds of years ago, we didn't have all these like devices, and that's crazy to think about how we were all doing things different ways. But now it's almost easier to burn yourself out now because of how much we have accessible to us.
It's kind of working against us.
Amazing. This is very true. And I see a lot of women being so emasculated nowadays, so stuck into, because of the system, how made it happen, but at the same time, I just believe in the perfect balance. So if us women know how to balance the masculine energy and the feminine energy, like, yes, we have to work, we need to make it happen, and have our own money. I really believe in that. But at the same time, we need to understand that it's okay if we give ourselves some time to chill. And same for men, for example. A lot of men also are very in touch with too much their feminine energy. They're lazy. They don't want to work. They're very stuck in the gaming and not making it, So this is also another side of it, that I'm really sorry for anyone. I heard somebody speaking the truth, but I believe in the balance. Yes, you need to work. Yes, you need to have goals. You need to be ambitious in this life, because this is where you make your energy into something creative. You create something out of it, which is important. You're using your vital energy to something good, but at the same time, you need to know that it's okay for you to have holidays and to not feel bad about it. It's okay to have days off, not touch your phone and not feel bad about it. It's okay if you answer the email in 2 hours and not in 2 minutes after you get it. Like, that's fine. We're human beings. And I really agree with what you say. We're not designed for the whole technology thing. So becoming like one is also something crazy, That's why we need to have balance. Like, yes, we are using the phone. Yes, we are using technology, but we are not it in the end of the day. We are human beings. And human beings are meant to hunt, actually. They're meant to live, just live, But the system made it for us to do other things. And our mission is to learn how to balance it in order to have a good life in here and in here, for sure.
Very, very well said. Very, very well said. Articulated perfectly. I couldn't agree more. It's kind of like that thing of what you said. It's like we forget. It's funny. Like, most people, we go into the system, or the social media world, because we want that financial freedom, which is just then creating space for us to live and not have to worry. But then we don't realize we get too sucked into it, and then are not living, and then end up, it's like that picture where it's like a skeleton running on a treadmill, and there's like a money on a fishing line in front. I think that's a really good way to summarize that. Sometimes we can get stuck in that mindset, and we got to try and break that free and remember to live.
And I don't know if either of you have seen, it was like all over online. It's that it's in a museum or an art gallery somewhere, with the robot that's leaking fluid, and it's trying to pick up.
Oh yeah, I think you showed me that.
I'm not sure if you've seen it, but like an artist created this interactive piece, and it's like in a glass box, and it's a robot, and it's been up for so many years. Over time, it's leaking the fluid that makes it work, and it's like spending its whole life trying to scrape it back in just to find out that it didn't need it the whole time or something.
Yeah.
And it's like such,
Wow.
if you look it up, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's a very, like, looking at it, it's like a very emotional, like, experience. It's a very, it's like one, like, artwork that I've seen that actually, like, I was like, wow.
It's very
That's
telling.
interesting. I'm gonna check it out actually, because that's super interesting, like super meaningful actually. There's a lot about like a lot of things also, like for human beings also, so it's very interesting.
I think that's what makes art so fun. It's a really great way to, even unique art, to express our emotions. And that's what's funny. It's like that's what creativity is. It's how we can express our emotions, or express being a human, having humanity, being able to live in fun, unique ways, and helping others remember, you know, this is what life is actually meant to be, not, you know, hustling and bustling.
Yeah, and I think it's like, it's a bit off topic, but it's like, it's one of those things where, like, for decades and decades and decades, we've always made art with whatever resources we had. Art has always been a part of, like, society, which I just think is really, really cool.
What's funny, it's like kind of what social media is. Like, I guess to me, that's like the backbone. It's funny. It's like you want to get like really, like, I don't know, conspiracy theory or however you want to word it, but it's like social media, or like the digital world, was created as a new format for us to express ourselves and express art, because that is what content creation is. And then, just as, you know, per usual, people want to then try and monopolize that to then get us to be stuck and, you know, have to work without trying to be all this and this and that. But yeah, it's an interesting thought process of, like, you know, when you really take that step back of like, what are those key things that really seem to make us human and really do follow through trends throughout history and even up to now, but then different modifications of how it's been changed. Getting very deep.
True.
They're very interesting.
Very true. But yeah, I also must agree with the fact that you have to put in the work still, but just know how to have some breaks, because if you put the work, for sure the next couple of years in your life will be more chill for you to be able to chill whenever you want, right? And have holidays whenever you want. But yeah, at the same time, listen to your body, because people are not so much in touch with their body nowadays. This is why all of the sicknesses are more frequent, you know, because the main cause of any disease is actually stress. And that says a lot. It's anxiety and it's stress. Why? Because people cannot listen to what within you says, you know, like you feel something within your stomach, it's pain, it's this and that. Why you don't question yourself? Oh, because for the past 5 days you haven't been sleeping properly because you were working so much. You didn't even think of eating well, you know, like the normal stuff you need to do. So if people are able to listen to their body and still have the proper work ethic, I think everything is gonna be just much better.
Yeah.
You said something that like reminded me, like, I don't want to keep going on about it, but it's just, I think I love this topic, and I think it's just really interesting. And like what you're saying about, you know, wanting to, you know, the people getting sick, it's kind of like, it's the backbone. Most people have an underlying issue of autoimmune, and then when you have an autoimmune disease, you know, it then leads to, you know, other illnesses, and that all stems from the fact of, you know, not looking after your body, not recovering.
And also, like, chronic stress can cause autoimmune.
So it's that thing of, like, you know,
Exactly.
overworking can do that to your body, so you need to take that time to rest.
Exactly.
Very interesting. Yeah. Well, to finish on a kind of, I guess, a bit more of a less deeper note and a bit more of a lighthearted, fun question, what is something that brings you joy no matter what?
dancing, listening to music. I also do DJ a little bit, so I really like DJing also.
Oh,
So just creating music, like mixing, okay, not creating. I'm not a producer, but whenever I see a console, I like to put my hands on there.
That is so
Definitely,
cool.
it's the rhythm, music, life, just living, dancing, just this. For sure,
Do,
it's this.
have you done any like I guess like sets or like have you ever like been somewhere where like you've been able to like there's been people around and you've been able to kind of I guess have a turn on the DJ and like I guess run a set or something, have you'd word it?
Yeah, it happened with my friends actually. It all started in COVID. So I was growing a little bit crazy because I was all day home and stuff. I had a friend that he was making music, and then I was like, I want to learn. He's like, let's go. I learned super fast in like a couple of hours actually. And I called my friend. I'm like, girl, you need to come. Like, we're making a party. She's like, where? I'm like, home. What do you mean, where? We brought all of the lights and stuff. We were literally 3 people dancing so much.
That's
Next
so good.
day, we were 5 people. After 3 days, we became 7 people. So I played some sets, yeah, but just around friends. I even had a console and stuff, but they are in Portugal. I left them there and I would like to buy again and start again. And actually, one of my small goals is keep on with music, but making it more consistent. Yeah, just out of a hobby. And who knows, guys? Maybe if we meet in real life, I'm gonna be playing a set or something.
Yes, that would be so cool. I think DJing is really fun. I've always kind of like not I guess I don't like certain sub genres I guess of what DJing is kind of like normally associated with, but watching how it's kind of changed now and kind of the mixing of I guess songs instead of like the what do you call it?
you're talking about like techno.
Yeah, like I'm not a big
house
fan of
music.
techno house music DJing, but I like the mixture of like pop songs or rap songs with different the mixes and blends.
Okay.
And I think it's really cool. No, I was going somewhere with this. It was that oh no, damn, I was going somewhere. What was it? Oh no, I'm having like a complete mind blank. This is terrible.
Well, I like to play Afrobeats. I like to
Oh,
play
Yeah,
Afrobeats,
they're nice. They're fun.
Latin American techno, Afro tech, Why? Because it's not a lot of a dance, like probably I'm sure you want like acid techno. You will not like high tech for sure. I'm sure you'll go crazy about that one. But you will like Afro tech because for me, it's music for the soul. Especially if you like cultures, especially if you like music from all around the world. You will like the beats, you will like it has something, melodic techno, so you will like. But yeah, if you're more into the hip hop and all of the it's like that doesn't work with techno, but works with hip hop and stuff.
I think what you were saying was kind of like what I was trying to get to is that like I've learned because of I guess like what you're trying to say, like the Afro beats and kind of that sub genre of like DJing. I've learned to have like a really big appreciation for it, and it's something that I think is really cool. And because like you said, it's like you music is such a powerful tool, and like music's really like big for me, and I think I've understood and now learned that DJing is such a fun way to
a way of expressing yourself.
Yeah, like create rhythm and like dance and feel alive. Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to say I think it's really cool that you're DJing and like
not professionally, but just for friends.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember now. Where I was going was because of what I was saying to do with that, and like why you like, I guess, the DJing, how you want to keep going was that's something that I think is really cool, and you should keep doing it, because I was leading it to Trixie.
Oh yeah.
And how there's a drag queen we like called Trixie Mattel, and she does DJing, and we saw her when she came down to Melbourne, but she does a few YouTube videos, and she's just in her house, and she got like the
same thing. She learned during COVID, bought the whole setup.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
And it's just I like that it's a really cool self-expression. And I guess what I was trying to say was, I think it's cool that you like that, and you should keep pursuing that, because I feel like it really connects with you and your energy and the way that you can create.
Yeah, I can picture you DJ.
Yeah. And like that energy that you have, that you can like express that really cool.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I was trying. It made me think of, I guess, Trixie and how
it's like
she does it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like when you're DJing, it's like your energy's going into the music.
Yeah.
Well, I really gonna try to make it happen soon. Have a very nice set in my house, maybe. I think the background is fine, no?
Yeah.
Maybe here or something.
You should,
and I'm just gonna make it happen.
Yes, we want to see them on Instagram. We want to. I think that's where I was trying to go. Like, I think I was trying to say, like, you should keep doing that. Like, I like, it feels befitting of what you're trying to say.
You're having like you're having like, you're getting a download.
Yeah. I can just see what you're doing, and that's cool. And it feels like that.
Wow. Thank you.
I hope you get what I'm saying.
So
I've gone in a circle, mumbling my words now.
Well, I needed to hear this, like you said in the beginning, that you needed to hear the things we said in the beginning, the intro. I needed to hear this because music has been a very big part of my life throughout since I remember myself. But whatever I'm doing now, guys, and how I'm making money, I love it. But the end goal is for me to just chill so much that I'm gonna just do my hobbies, which is making music and painting. So imagine that, like, this is like the end goal, at least for me, to not work as much, to work just a little bit, have passive income, and just make music and enjoy life just for my friends, This is like the end goal, to be honest. Like, I really love music so much that I've been always getting the signs to do so. I know I have a musical ear, but like something is going on the way, like work, like something, and I never really like did it fully. But I feel that this year I'm gonna make it happen. So I'm gonna send you a link of my set on SoundCloud once I'm gonna make it happen.
Yes, we would love that. And then we'll have to, when we come over to Europe, we want to like live over in Europe and that for a bit. So we'll have to come over and see it in person.
Yes, guys, I would love to have you here. I'm in Cyprus, by the way. It's like an island. We speak Greek here. It's not Greece, but we speak Greek. So you're always welcome to come here. I would love to have you here. I'll show you around everything. You'll love it. Yeah.
Again, it's been a pleasure, and we'll definitely want to have you back on and have some more chats.
Thank you so much, guys. I wish you a beautiful night, and I can't wait to meet you, and I can't wait to have a podcast again with you.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been such a pleasure. You're a ray of sunshine.